indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright. We have a chance to look through the minutes and bills.
I will make a motion to approve the minutes and bills.
So we got two minutes, one for the annual organizational board meeting and then one for a regular board meeting, both on May 12th. We have a first motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second, do I have any public comment? Public comment? No one's going to say aye. Alright, motion carried. PTSL report?
Sarah's gonna do it.
So we did pastries with parents on the last day of school, which I think went really well. I am in the process of ordering fireworks for the fireworks stand. And then we will have a sign-up sheet for anybody who would like to work a shift at the fireworks stand. Please and thank you. That is our main fundraiser that we have. It's pretty much the only one that we really make a significant amount of money on to fund the things throughout the school year that we do, like the Halloween carnival, Read It, parent-teacher conferences, we provide dinner, support the clubs, all of that. So if you would like to volunteer in the fireworks stand, that would be awesome.
Perfect, thank you. We have a staff report?
Just the year, I don't know, the year ended great. We're thankful that Kathy came as our interim superintendent for this year, so thank you for that. And just all in all, a great year, so thankful.
Thank you. Do you have a student?
No.
Public comment? Oh, thanks, Carol.
Yeah.
Did anybody wishing to speak in on public comment?
Say that again?
Anybody that wants on public comment? Everybody got on that wants on?
Oh.
Just making sure.
I'm going deaf.
It's like my daughter, she can't hear either.
What?
All right, Erin?
I was just checking in to see if anything was done with the special session last week.
We're dealing with it right now. I'm working with legal for MTSBA, so they're kind of walking us through some steps that we can go through. And then we're gonna have another meeting in the summer. But we'll keep everybody posted. Yeah, we'll keep you posted on when that meeting will be.
Okay.
All right. Nancy?
Yeah, great, thank you. Ezra and I are here just, in support of Erin. I know she was at last Wednesday's board meeting, and we too have walked a very similar path with the issue of bullying in the school. And I just want to support those families because I know what a nightmare it is to go through it. I think we have some other concerned parents here as well. And just to say, Tom, as you're entering in on this is I recognize it's a nationwide issue, but that it is affecting our school. It's obviously different students, but same story. It's, something that has to be addressed. And as parents and community members and a teacher myself, this is an issue that I really am passionate about and vested in and want to support these guys as they're going through it. And yeah, we'd like to see our handbook policies followed.
All right. All right, do we have any action items? Informational? Calendar events?
For the summer, we put all of the events that are happening on the links calendar. We have Smiles Across Montana, the dentist program coming in for community. We have a cycle group coming in July. we have a basketball camp end of July, and then the gym will be closed the first part of August to refinish the gym floor, and we start back to school.
The basketball camp, that's the one that Nathan does?
Mhm. Also on the webpage, we put the information about the summer food program that we're offering. It will run from July 2nd through August 6th. And we sent information home, and parents that wanted to sign up can come pick up lunches on Wednesday from 11 to 1. So we have that program going too.
Are you the AD today?
I'm filling in for Shane tonight. He is at the Class C caucus meetings. So the first thing I'll bring to your attention is information from Montana High School Association on new legislation affecting homeschool students' participation in high school sports and activities. I think this is coming down from the federal level because it is details on homeschool students to participate in MHSA sports or activities. The student must be a United States citizen and he or she must be a Montana resident as determined under provisions 1-1-215. This is just going through the high school association, so we're kind of waiting to see what comes out of that. Maybe Shane will get some more information at the meeting he's at now. So, just for you to be aware of. Then I have 3 coach resignations. The first one is Mike Campbell from junior high girls basketball.
Right.
You want all 3 of them together?
Sorry, doing them separately?
Okay.
How is there any of them that are there? Are we really did them living in here? So I guess we could do them all together.
Okay. The second one is from Peyton Peterson, to resign the position of assistant junior high girls basketball coach. The third one is from Nathan Brown, resigning from the position as a coach of high school boys basketball and junior high track.
All right, we have a motion to accept the resignations from Mike Campbell, Peyton Peterson, and Nathan Brown.
I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation.
I'll second it.
All right, we got Billy for first, and Lee for second. Do I have any public comment? Public comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Next is recommendation on coaches for 2025-26 season. Do you want me to list these all together?
Yeah.
Okay, cross country, Haley Gilbo. Head football, Shane Brown. Assistant football, Peyton Peterson. Head high school volleyball, Curtis Jansen. Head boys basketball, Shane Brown. Head girls basketball, Shane Smith. Assistant girls basketball, Melissa Udarian. Head track, John Beckman. Assistant high school track, Claire Anderson. And pep band, Haley Gilbo. Head volleyball, Michelle Romaines. Head boys junior high basketball, Shane Smith. Assistant junior high boys basketball, Mike Fallis. Head junior high track, Peyton Peterson. And elementary basketball, Curtis Jansen.
All right, do I have a motion for the coach recommendations for the 2025-2026 season?
I'll make a recommendation to hire the coaches.
We got first for Billy, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sarah, second. Public comment?
I have a question. I think it was last year during the hiring season, we had talked about, or you guys had talked about, asking for letters of interest or like putting back in to say that they wanted to coach again. I'm sure that they all do. I was just wanting to clarify if that was something that had happened or if it was just assumed that they would wanna coach again or how that worked.
From what I know, I believe Shane Brown contacted the coaches to see if they were interested for next year.
Okay. It was kind of going back and forth last year on whether or not there was gonna be something that was required to be submitted or not. I didn't know if that had happened. And then I was also wondering too, on the status of coaches' evaluations, if those had been done yet and or sent.
I know they were done and put in their files.
Do they get a copy of those and do they get a chance to participate in those?
I'm not exactly sure to answer for Mr. Brown how he did it this year. I know on the ones that I did, I talked to the people and gave them a copy of the evaluation.
Okay. From a couple of the coaches that I talked to, they received an evaluation from fall sports, but not from spring sports or winter sports, just whatever happened last fall. So I didn't know if those were still coming or not coming, and then the ones that were sent out after like the volleyball junior high boys season, those were mailed out without an opportunity to participate. I was just curious if that was something that could change. I think it's good for both parties to be able to have that sort of communication.
Okay? I'll make a note of that to talk to Mr. Brown.
Public comment? No? All in favor say aye. All abstain. Well, we got 4 ayes. 4 ayes. I need to go to bed. Alright. Okay, athletic positions advertised.
The ones that are advertised right now are listed on your sheet as 3/17/25. They're posted. The ones that you just received resignations on will be posted after this board meeting.
We just need a motion to advertise them, or are we good because they're open?
I think they're good because you
Yeah.
accepted the resignation,
Yeah.
so.
Just making sure. Okay. Alright, discuss and approve basketball camp.
Okay, this is, the camp that Nathan Brown has offered the last couple of years. He will be getting information out, and you did get a second sheet because after I copied it, I noticed that there was writing on the back, and you guys didn't get that, so he included his, flyer for the camp, and then he has an insurance policy on the camp also.
Alright. Do we wanna have a discussion, or just go straight into motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the Skills Evolution basketball team.
We got a first from Sarah, do I have a second? Julie seconds, do I have public comment?
What are the dates on that?
July 28th through the 31st. You want public comment?
Since it was approved, we can start putting flyers up.
Okay.
And there's a grouping kindergarten through 4th grade from 9 to 10, 5th grade through 8th grade, 10:30 to 12:30, and then 9 through 12, 2 to 4. So he did break it into the groups again. So
And then who's coaching all that?
Nathan Brown,
Okay.
Any other public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye. Motion carried. Clerk update?
Okay. Get myself together. It's been pretty busy, few weeks. See, we got lots for Brenna to sign. Darcy and I have been updating contracts, preparing for negotiations, and tracking this current year's budget and getting ready for year-end closeout. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this 24-25 budget. So basically, when we started this year, we were in a deficit, and I have sent some expenditures to the multi-district for reimbursement. So I think it's gonna be about 120,000 that we have to receive back, which it'll be here by the end of June. Then looking at the general fund right now, it'll be tight, but I believe we will be, finishing the year where it will all be spent. And that is with our 30,000 for, enrollment increase that we received, thankfully. And then COVID money helped us get through this year. But yeah, general fund will be spent. I think our retirement fund is going to be, fine after our budget amendment this year as well. I don't wanna ever do another year like this year. But after payroll in June, I expect that we're gonna have about 25,000 left in the general fund. And that will be spent on, we've got our insurance bill for our liability insurance, so. I am working on that. Darcy's at training all week, for the new clerks training, and then MASBO, which is Montana Association of School Business Officials, have their week-long training this time of year every year. So she'll be getting a lot of good information, and I am just trying to get everything ready to be able to show her how to close out the year. And so my plan is I will be here probably into the first week of July, and then hopefully I will go back to Oregon for a while, but be back to help her do the trustees and the budget for next year. Been working with Kathy. We're getting the budget for next year figured out. It will be a very workable budget. And we will also have numbers for you when we do negotiations. Let's see, what else? I think that's all I'm going to talk about in clerk update, other than to just say it's been a busy time, and it's been a challenging year, but I think we're in good shape now. So, the only other two things I have is to request the board to approve student attendance agreements for the Gerald family. They're out of district agreements. Lucas is going to be in 7th grade, and he'll be coming from Helmville, second on. Why does ours
First
say that? Okay, that's gonna need to be changed.
Okay.
Help me out and tell me if I've got these two. So, well, Lucas grew a lot in 1 year. 11th and 10th? Okay, so this one's gonna be, so first, will be first. Okay, so if we could approve Lucas Gerald. He will be Helmville, coming from Helmville School, and then Olivia and Lily Gerald will be coming from, they would be going to Powell County High School, that's the district of residence. So if we could approve those three,
You said Olivia and who?
Olivia and Lily.
Do you know what grades they are?
Lily is in 11th and Olivia is in 10th.
Lucas might be first.
Yes, and I will redo this one for you, Brenda.
Do I have a motion to approve, Lucas Gerald, Olivia, and Lily Gerald?
I will make a motion to approve Lucas, Olivia, and Lily Gerald.
Alright, I got a motion from Sarah, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Billy seconds, do I have any public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried.
Okay. And then, the only other one, at least when I was here before, we had to do this, is to approve our community eligibility for lunch. So it's basically just board approvals so that the community can continue to all have free lunch.
Do I have a motion to approve the eligibility for lunch program? I'll make a motion to approve the community eligibility for lunch program. And Julie's first, do I got a second?
I'll second it.
Marlene seconds. Do I have, public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried. Superintendent, thank you, Carol.
Yes. I'm sorry about the child growing so fast.
For superintendent update, first of all, I'd like to thank the board and the staff for support this year. Getting here 2 days before the school year, it has just been a run and gun. I still don't know what's in 3 sets of file drawers, because I haven't had the opportunity to get through those. Maybe in these next couple weeks, I will be able to get that, and to address some of the things that are going on. There's a lot of, I wish I could have, I wish I should have. I kind of tried to hold on at the end there.
Mhm.
It's, yep, so my last day is June 26th.
Are you sure?
Yep, I'm sure.
Are you blocking my number?
She's gonna let everything lapse, so we can't pull her back.
Yeah.
Tom will have it.
It's been great. The staff, I can't thank them enough for all the support and extra help that they did when I was buried and stuff, and I said, I need somebody to do this. They just did it. They never asked, they never questioned. Same with janitorial. I was busy dealing with stuff, and we had to set up the graduation, and Derek came in and said, don't worry, I got it. And when I went in there at 1 o'clock, graduation was ready to go. So everybody just pitched in and did what they could and helped, and I really appreciated it, so I give a lot of thanks to a lot of people. Next, recommendation for AD position, and you can cross it off in new business, as you can see. I added it in and added it in, we'll just cross that one off. But for AD position, I'd like to recommend Shane Brown.
Alright, do I have a motion for Shane Brown for 80?
I make a motion to have Shane Brown be athletic director.
I have a second, or I have a first from Marlene, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lily seconds, public comment?
I have a couple questions. I wasn't sure if I should ask this during the coaches hiring, resigning, or during AD recommendations. But since you're looking ahead into the new school year, I was hoping to open a discussion on some of this stuff. I was wondering if you could clarify the coach versus AD responsibilities when it came to tournament time. Who is responsible, or whose responsibility is it to feed the kids during tournament time and to get the information to parents as to overnight trips? Who is feeding them? Are we responsible to make sure that they pack for 3 days? Are we responsible to show up and pick up lunches for them or dinners for them? Is that on the athletic director or is that on the coaches to relay that information? For track, during tournament time, lunches were not provided, and they stayed in a hotel that did not have free breakfast, so they either had to purchase breakfast or not eat. And it sounds like on one of the days, Claire did pick up burritos. I don't know if she bought those, I don't know if the school bought those, I don't know where they came from. But then they were on their own for lunch, and when they're there for 3 days, it's hard to pack for 3 days unless we're there. And then they were, they all stopped for dinner on the way home, so dinner wasn't a thing. But then for basketball and volleyball, for the overnight trips, they were provided breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I was hoping to try and find some sort of consistency there in either communication or what is provided to the kids. If it's a budget problem, then maybe parents could work together to make sure the kids are all taken care of. I don't think that it's an issue necessarily for this group of kids, but maybe for some incoming kids, I could imagine it might be a little bit of a struggle. And then during basketball time, if I know from experience, the last couple of years has been a little bit messy. We weren't sure when they were eating or who was feeding them or whatever. So after the game, like I went, Haley's like, I'm hungry, can you go get me food? So I said, okay. So I went and picked her up food, and then she calls me back. She's like, well, the rest of the team also wants you to pick them up food. So I'm like, okay, I don't want anybody to struggle or anything. So I went and picked up the team Taco Bell and then delivered it. And then by the time I got back, I got another text saying, oh, we put in an order for Panda from Panda. Can you go back to Panda Express? So I went back to Panda Express. So that was one night. And then the night before that, they decided to stay and watch some games. And they're like, here's a sandwich order. Can you go pick this up? So I showed up at Subway, and Subway was like, we're not doing this. You have to go somewhere else. So then I went to Domino's, and Domino's is an hour and a half wait. So then I'm getting all stressed because it's like 6:30 at night, and we're trying to figure out what the plan is for the afternoon, for the evening. So I stopped by Little Caesars and cleaned them out. I'm like, whatever you have ready, like just give me whatever you have. So I'm just hoping like for the coming school year, if we can clarify if that's on the coach to figure out, or if that's on the AD to figure out, or if it's something that they need to work on together. I'm just not sure what the processes are myself. I'm happy to help out, I'm happy to pick up, I'm happy to put in orders or do whatever. I don't want to overstep, and I don't know what the procedures are as far as some of that goes. And then I was also wondering, there was a few times when they left early because they wanted to watch some games, if that was a mandatory situation or if we could split it up. If some of the kids didn't want to leave that early, leave from Lincoln that early. I think there was one day they left Lincoln at maybe 6 o'clock and they didn't play till noon and 6. That seems like a really long gap. If that is mandatory, or if we could make that optional, they can meet up with their team and then stay the rest of the weekend. Because I know at that night game they were all kind of sluggish and struggling a little bit. And then if it is the coach's responsibility to pick up meals, or if they are handed the card and said, go feed your kids, are they given any kind of a budget? Or are they supposed to be given any kind of a budget, or a per person, like this is what your limit is? Or do they just say, here you go find dinner? I guess just some of that stuff, if we could clean some of that stuff up or make it clearer.
I can address some of it. All tournaments this year were messy because we had complaints from parents, from coaches, from student athletes that wanted to be there at certain times. So it was like, we worked hard to find money to be able to do it. And volleyball went early so they could sit and watch the teams they were gonna play. So then track turned around and said, well, volleyball got to go, and they weren't even playing, and we have somebody competing, so we all wanna go. So then it was, how many text messages, Carol?
What?
A lot, going back and forth with Shane to see if he could find motel rooms, because we weren't going to stay that night. And then we had parents and student athletes complain that they had to warm up at a certain time. The event that was supposed to happen was canceled because of weather. So the kids sat there, they didn't compete that day. We could have had plenty of time to send them down the next day. So a lot of it comes back to trying to appease parents and student athletes, and then coaches kind of get drug along with it. At the basketball tournaments, when boys and girls are playing together, it is such a screwy schedule. Girls play, boys sit for 3 hours, then, okay, so do we take these guys and go feed them now and get them back because they want to be there by the time our boys are playing again, or vice versa with the girls. So I know there was a lot of miscommunication at the basketball tournament. And it was frustrating because everything kept coming back to me and to the clerks, and can we find this money? Can we send the kids? Do we send the kids? They'll be fine going early in the morning, they'll survive, but now everybody wants to go watch one person compete. So now we have to get the bus to go. So then we're working with the bus and with drivers to accommodate the kids that are left here to get them home or get them to school. So it's a big hamster wheel, I'll say that. And I know that area can be cleaned up. It's not gonna make parents happy. It's not gonna make athletes happy, and some coaches are gonna be upset. But that's the way it'll be, and if they have to get up early, that's fine. We're not gonna send them down to spend a night in a motel when we didn't need to. And yes, they do have a per diem. All coaches know that. It goes out with the coaches' contracts. And if it didn't last year, it is this year. So it is already, some of those things are being addressed. It has been an absolute fiasco. And then you have parents coming in and saying, well, I'm gonna take all these kids because they wanna go watch. And we have kids in and out and parents calling all afternoon. So it's kind of a fiasco. Our sports teams did awesome this year. The coaches, the kids, everything, we wanted to honor them. We worked our tails off to see that we could get kids there this year. And then, kind of got slapped in the face with it too. So,
I think they did great. I was just curious on if there was a way to streamline some of that. I'm happy to plan ahead or prepare or whatever. Just when I'm running from Frenchtown to Missoula, 3 or 4 times a day, it gets kind of crazy. But if I know ahead of time, like I can plan better.
yeah, the schedule comes out and it depends on when lose.
Yeah.
And then it changes everything.
Well, then, they also stay to watch games too, which I don't care. They say to watch games or don't say to watch games. It doesn't matter to me. But, I don't know. I would just like to see a little more communication on what's provided and what's not provided.
Fair enough.
Any more public comment? Board comment?
Yes. So I know the last couple of years we've talked about getting Shane some help because this is a big job being AD. Do we have any prospects? Do we have any kind of outline of everything he handles on that we could start looking at? What do we what can we divide up, what can we take off his plate to make life a little easier?
He would have to be the one to answer that. I know from text back and forth with him today, he's at this Class C caucus. They're going away from Arbiter, which was all of our games and referee schedule, and they have a new one called Dragonfly. And they're trying to learn that and how to input all of our information. All of our information is already in Arbiter, but that's no longer the system. So, maybe I can let him know and he can address it with the board next meeting.
Cause would we be looking at, well, should we approve one position or should we approve two positions? Do we have it in the budget for an assistant this year?
Until we have negotiations. Honestly, having done that job before, I don't know how you would split it into two, but.
Can I ask a question? Has anybody in the school got a hold of the Lewis and Clark County and talked to them about the 21st Century program?
Yes, it's not available until 26, 27.
For Lincoln or just for everybody?
The whole new grant cycle starts 26, 27.
So there's nothing for that then?
Not this year.
Kathy's been the one responsible for getting that grant every time we've gotten it. Just isn't available right now.
Interesting.
And of course, we loved that grant.
Yeah, I feel like it makes it easier for people to want to come and fill a position. When I lived out in Condon, I taught an art club after school, and I was paid like $25 an hour for that grant. And I didn't do it for the money. I mean, I did it because it was fun, but I just feel like if we try to maybe get more people that know about that stuff, maybe there would be more people that would be willing to take more positions if they were knowledgeable about certain grants. And
It's a wonderful grant, and it did a lot of things for the community and
Yeah.
kids and other people too. Unfortunately, it's not open yet, and that was one of the people I worked with this year.
yeah. And then I'm kind of new to this, so I'm a little bit shy talking. But with the whole basketball team and some of the stuff that I was just listening to, I think maybe we could encourage the teams to fundraise money for their teams. I'm not sure how we would do that. Like you could do bake sales or car washes or something like that, and maybe you could do it in the summertime where it's nice and warm for like the car washes, and then somehow put that in a fund for the sports teams and maybe find ways, or like just other grants. I'm not sure what kind of sports grants we could get, but just try to make like another trust fund for the sports teams throughout the year so it's not so chaotic. Just an idea. I don't know if like how that would work, but I don't know. Just some ideas.
I'm looking at you for it. We have a best of both. Yes. Yes, we do.
Can I say something? My recommendation would be to, like, put a suggestion of like an assistant AD on hold. I'd like to thank Kathy because, working with her on my transition and everything she's done to step in and help the school out. And starting 2 days before school, you're always behind. You're always behind the eight ball. I hope that I'm going to be behind because it's new. And Kathy has from what I understand, a great athletic background. And my experience, especially with high school athletics, is if you don't do it right, it's one of your biggest headaches, which, it appears because we care about our kids. They go out for hours, many hours away from a rural community. And it's one thing that I know that initially to start, and that might be like the first few years initially, is one, learning a new system and learning a new system in a school and working. Shane and I have had the opportunity to talk at length a few times now, and it is a certain level, it's a level of interest that I know if it's not done well and right, it can be quite a headache. And you question like, why are we doing this? Kind of thing. But so my recommendation would be to hold on and see what the needs are and for me to help, kind of identify some of those things, because I know initially I have to be extremely involved, more so than you might typically see of a principal or superintendent, just because I want to be comfortable with it. I want to know where, I can help facilitate where the holes are. And so I think that's a great suggestion. But one year when I had to be a full-time principal and my AD took another job hours away 2 weeks before school started, I also did those duties. There's no way we were going to find an AD of any quality at that late in the game 2 weeks before school started, but we did hire an additional assistant for our office. It was a school of about 400 students, so that all the clerical things were taken care of. But all the supervisorial things, really burdened me, but I did it for a year just to get through. So I'd kind of like to see hold off, because I know exactly what Kathy's going through is a few things happen at some of these prolonged weekends especially, and it can kind of snowball.
What does Shane do? That's not how I meant it, like, what does he teach? He does that some of the industrial arts, shop class.
Can I just say one more thing? I really appreciate everything that Kathy has done this year, and I'm in no way criticizing anything that happened this year. I'm just bringing up things that the board and the community has talked about for the past 3 or 4 years, and looking to see if there will ever be any movement on some of these conversations that happen at least once a year.
Any other comment? Would it be too much to maybe just table this until after the negotiations, and then we'd know a little more if there was budget for, a little bit of help for him, or
You certainly can.
then he could be here to answer some of these questions? I think that probably would be best.
Yeah, I'm okay with tabling it until next meeting, and then we can get with him and ask some questions and get some clarification, see where he's at on it. See where the views.
Is there a way we could just still hire him as AD and just table looking for help? Like, we can still have him and still add help later, it doesn't have to be all at the same time.
But wouldn't that affect maybe what you would want to pay him?
Maybe.
Does he want the position? Does Mr. Brown want to be? Oh, okay. I was just wondering. So he just kind of just took a year off then?
He's been 80.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, we just have to do the rehiring every year.
Oh, okay.
We can table it to next meeting?
Make a motion to table it till the next meeting.
I'll second it.
Alright. Any public comment on that one? Any more public comment? Alright, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Okay.
Okay. The next one is, the Montana Reads Grant. We were one of 37 schools that were fortunate to get this Montana Reads Grant. Our final, was $1,013,000. And it's about 4.25 years, because grant actually started June 1. The first year goes from June 1 to September 30th. The second year goes from August 1 to September 30th, and then that's how the next 4 years run. So we'll have that grant until 2029. Like I said, it was a very competitive grant, and I want to thank Joni, my my helper, my writer. I think at one time she was going to turn off her email, because on weekends when we had time to write, we were sending stuff back and forth, and does this sound right? Is this data right? And so it was a team effort, and we put it in. It was due in March, and we were notified the last day of May, basically May 23rd. When we got it, it was a Friday, and I got the email, and I was sitting there and I was going, oh my God, yeah, ha. And my husband was like, are you okay? What's going on? What's happening now? And I said, we got the grant. I gotta call Joni. And Joni answered, and she said, hello? And I was just about to tear up, and so it was silent for a minute, and she's going, is everything okay? It was, like we said, it's been a year. And I said, Joni, we got the grant. And so we were yelling and screaming in the phone at each other and stuff like that. So Joni, thank you.
Kathy, how much was that grant?
$1,013,000.
Kathy, you are the person to thank.
Thank you both.
No,
job, you
it was a team.
And is that something we can use to fund boosting, like the other reading grant we had?
It is divided into 3 schools, so it goes, younger kids, middle kids, high school.
Oh, that's nice.
So it is divided, and you have to set your budget up that way, so it's 15%, 40%, 40%, and there's that other 5% goes back to OPI. So, for managing the grant.
Okay.
So, you have to have a pretty specified budget. We have a tentative one. They were supposed to have the budget meeting last week, and OPI wasn't ready, so it got canceled. So we're still waiting for that, so that we can get this short year in and then get set up for the following year. But it certainly helped with staffing, I can tell you right now.
Contracts we would not be offering if we hadn't gotten that.
The next thing I have is accreditation for 24-25. The district and all 3 schools are accredited by the state of Montana, OPI. And it just says we're on regular accreditation, no deviations, no corrective plans.
That was a lot of work for Kathy too.
No comment. Good job. All right. New business?
Okay, the first is a recommendation for a teaching position. I would like to recommend Becky McNichol for a 1-year 4th grade position.
Right, do I I have a motion to accept Rebecca McMickle for a 1-year 4th grade position?
Make a motion to accept Rebecca McNichol for 4th grade position.
Julie has a first, do I have a second?
I have a second.
Eileen seconds. Public comment?
Thank you, Brenna, for coming in on a Sunday to
You
do
didn't
an interview.
I didn't have to get dressed up, so that's
Yes, so thank you.
Yes, thank you. Any public comment? Or comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. I shall be so happy.
The next one is a recommendation for an in-district teacher transfer, Michaela Fallas from preschool to 5th grade.
All right, do I have a motion to accept the transfer from preschool to 5th grade for Michaela Ballas?
I'll make a motion to approve Michelle Falls to 5th grade.
All right, Sarah has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lily seconds. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I would like to advertise for the preschool position.
Do I have a motion to open up the advertisation,
We knew what you meant.
advertising the preschool position?
I make a motion to open advertising for the teacher, or for the preschool. Sorry, she's still in preschool as I see her. Wait a minute.
All right, Marlene has the first motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lily seconds, any public comment? Board comment?
What other positions do we still have out there? English? And
Yes,
something else?
yes. That would also be a recommendation for a teaching position for 7 through 12 English, contingent upon certification from OPI for Jo Wessel. She has passed the praxis. It's in the works at OPI, but I don't have that certification yet. I don't have that teaching license. So if we could approve her contingent upon OPI certification.
I need an all in favor for Michaela first, before we.
Oh, sorry.
All in favor, say aye on.
Aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried for that, okay, now, sorry. Okay, now, Joe Wesson.
Was that open on OPI? Did we have anybody else apply?
4 people from the Philippines. One person that I tried to set up an interview, by the time we got a date for an interview, she had already accepted another position.
I'm just curious.
Mhm.
And that's,
I missed a meeting somewhere.
that's contingent on her vote.
OPI certification.
Alright, do I have a motion for Joe Wessel, not for English?
I'll make a motion.
Lee has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sarah seconds, do I have any public comment?
Yay.
Any board comment?
Yay. I'm excited. I think she'll do some fun stuff with those kids. She has a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things.
And a phenomenal sense of humor. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I think she can make writing really fun for them.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, motion carried.
Okay. Okay. We need to update their first job description to comply with the STARS Act. And it was called essential functions that we needed to add. So in your packet, job description for business manager, clerk of the board, policy 1230-1. We added the essential functions to the beginning of the job description.
This allows the clerk to be, we also get extra funding for the clerk because we have it in there. Along with the extra funding for the teachers.
Alright, I have a motion to update the clerk job description to include the essential functions.
I will make a motion to update the clerk job description with the essential functions.
Alright, Sarah has first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds, do I have public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion
And I'll send this into MTSBA to add it to our policies.
carries. Okay, thank you.
Then the next item is to approve the school bus routes. I met with Doug and Lori, have the east run and the west run all down.
Alright, do I have a motion to approve this east and west bus run school routes? I make a motion to approve the bus routes. Maybe I got a motion from Julie, do I have a second?
A second?
Eileen seconds. Sorry, Bill. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Approve of pre-K student admissions. Montana law says that you have to be 5 by September 10th for admissions. I have a letter from a parent whose child turns 5 8 days after, September 18th. I put information in your packets on all the communication back and forth between the parents. Before I would even consider it, I had him tested on Peli to see where he was as far as academic-wise. He does fine on there. Also in board policy, it states that trustees may at their discretion assign and admit a child to school who is under 5 years of age if there is exceptional circumstances that merit waiving the age. I had Michela test him, and her assessment was that he could do everything that was required in preschool. There is one requirement that we will have if he is allowed, is that he has to be potty trained, he has to be able to self-care. Parents are aware of that stipulation.
Do I have a motion for Wyatt?
It
Benson
would be
to enroll?
Wyatt Rogers.
Rogers?
Yeah, it's not Dennison.
Oh. For his enrollment. I'm still reading. So is he one?
Partly.
Okay. So she just knows that if it's not completed, that
Yeah.
he can, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so contingent on potty training, do I have a
Yes.
motion to enroll Wyatt Rogers? Would it be preschool, just
Yes, preschool.
for preschool? Sorry, she's trying to hit me with her pens.
I will make a motion to approve Wyatt Rogers to be admitted for preschool contingent upon being able to self-care.
Perfect. Julie has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, when we first started the preschool, didn't we have somebody that tried to get their kid into preschool? Like their birthday was not too far after the cutoff date, and we said no. I feel like the first year we had preschool.
First year we had.
had 4 and 5-year-olds, and we got rid of the
Oh, we had 3.
4-year-olds.
I feel like there was somebody else who was to have their kid in. It's tingling in my brain,
You'll think of it at 3 o'clock in the morning.
probably, yeah.
I know the twins, they were 2 days after they allowed them in.
I'm just wondering if this was a can of worms or
Well, since he passed the testing though.
The testing was a big thing. If he wasn't ready and Michelle felt like he would be a disruption to the class, she would never have written a letter
Yeah.
of support for him, and the parents knew that too, so.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Classified staff.
Okay, classified staff recommendations for 25-26. Derek Perez, head custodian. Do you want these all listed?
Anybody related to any of them?
No.
Good.
Okay, Gabe Harris, assistant custodian, Sarah Perez, secretary, Alyssa Graney, head cook, Michelle Romines, assistant cook, Jennifer Daly, paraprofessional, Linnell Story, paraprofessional, Kaylon Mingle, paraprofessional, and I need to add Carol Williams, clerk, for continuation of the current classified agreement she's under. Trainer.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the recommended classified staff to be hired for the 25-26 school year?
I make a motion to approve those listed for the 2025-26 school year.
All right, Marlene has the first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Julie seconds. Do you have public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right. Motion carried.
Okay, and then under classified staff, because we just got the summer food program, it would be a contract for summer food program for Alyssa and Michelle to be able to do that. And that'll be August, July through August.
So we need to do a motion for the summer food program?
Yes.
None. All right, do I have a motion to accept Alyssa Greeny and Michelle Romines for the summer food program?
I'll make a motion.
Julie has a first or a second? I'll second it. Julie seconds. Public comment?
I see Darcy's done a lot of work to get this set up. It's good.
Board comment?
And that program covers the cost of their wages for that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Last year, I think it was like 10,700 that we received for the food and the salaries.
Gotcha.
And there was some that was left over. So this year, they ask you what you will do if there's money left over, and I said it'll go into the regular school lunch program.
Is it do we do breakfast and lunch for,
They're gonna do it,
on Wednesdays?
Go for it.
they're gonna do it on Wednesdays, and there'll be 4 meals, 4 breakfasts, 4 lunch that they'll give out every Wednesday.
Okay.
So the labor cost is not going to be much, 'cause they're just gonna, I think they'll either be they'll be coming in Wednesday and getting it ready and then have it go out, but there won't be a lot of labor costs.
Any other board comment? All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Motion carried. Cybersecurity policy.
Yes, so, this was recommended by K-12, who's our technology people. And it seems like all the time we're trying to update and stay ahead of all the threats and everything. So this is the policy that they sent us, and if there is a threat or a breach, these are the steps that they would follow to. And this was copied on the backside too, so I did give you another copy, because I did get yours first from 4 to 8, on how they can help us and be sure that our system is safe. And the student data isn't floating out there elsewhere.
And K-12 does that?
Yes.
Alright. Now, motion to approve the cybersecurity policy.
I make a motion to approve the cybersecurity policy.
Emily has his first, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lily second. Public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Hi.
Motion carried. Alright. The 7 through 12 handbook. Did we get a chance to look over? Last week? A little bit, that's a lot.
And on the handbooks, I'd like to thank the BLT for coming in early mornings and staying late and for going through both the 712 and elementary handbook and trying to make sure that we were in line with everything that we had. And the front page just refers to what we updated. Some of it was verbiage. Some of it was with principal/superintendent, since it's one position. Some of it we left as administrator. But we tried to be consistent on what we did. And so on the front page is all the changes that were done, and what pages they are in your books here.
Are we gonna send out hard copies, or are we gonna just send out a paper that says look on the school website?
I think we're just gonna do it on the school website.
Okay. And it'll all be updated by the time those packets go out?
Yes.
I noticed there was some verbiage, about a truancy officer. Do we have one?
Not really, that falls on the superintendent.
Okay. Sorry, Tom.
Cap.
Other duties as assigned.
Yeah.
Is there a no bullying policy in the handbook?
Yes, there is. You want the 7-12 or the elementary?
The elementary.
This is an extra copy that I have. It's on page 21 through 23, I believe. Anybody else want elementary now?
Sure, so the online, when do the packets go out?
They will go out the first part of August.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have an extra 7 through 12 handbook?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this will put me to sleep tonight. Look at that, right to it. How did I do that?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
When you post the new one, do you post the front page with it to note, so someone can see what the changes were, or just post the whole thing?
Just the whole thing, it wouldn't be with what the changes were.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
You're so proud of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is,
Okay.
yeah. Which book are you in?
Which that will be, it's probably the same thing, both of them, pretty much. Just possibly, maybe in this definition section, we have harassment, intimidation, or bullying. Can we separate some of those definitions, or get, bullying on its own definition? Define that more,
If you could put respect in there, I mean, we could
Yeah.
add so much.
yeah, and maybe some type of, I don't know, what would you call them? Type of checklist, or like informational, like more educational. Like this, like, I don't know, I personally feel like nationwide, bullying, the word, like certain words are hit on as buzzwords, and then they get thrown out there a lot. And I feel like sometimes it loses its true definition when it's constantly being applied to every situation. I'm not saying it's not in every situation, but I think just a clear-cut definition of bullying versus kids being mean, or, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right,
Yeah.
conflict versus,
yeah,
can we include something like that?
we certainly could. This is what we use with the elementary mainly, and it looks like this. Because somebody could come in and say, I'm being bullied. Were they being mean to you? Were they rude? Do you have a
Right.
conflict with them? and then we try to figure
Drill
out
down.
what is going on.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think that would be great to create, the same discussion between school and parents. So if parents and the school are using the same tool to help get to the root of some of these issues. So when kids come home and say all kinds of stuff, and so to use, if we're using the same tools and system, hopefully at home and at school, it creates that consistency for kids to
Yeah.
know
Because
how to
we're-
classify what they're going through.
So we did a staff PD on it, and we did surveys with the kids, and, it's one area that we worked hard on and
Mhm.
tried to figure out what verbiage to use with different levels.
Right.
And because you'd have a kid say, well, he's bullying me, what did he do? He made this face at me, you know? Okay, let's talk about
Right.
the actions.
Yeah.
And,
Can I make a public
It's really
statement
good.
really quick?
well,
Hold on,
one
you gotta
second,
wait.
then I'll let you think. It's going to help next year. Global was accepted into the counseling program, and so, she will be, working in about one period a day on different things. She's talked about several different things that she could do to help, which will be a big benefit, to the district.
Gotcha.
Thank you, sorry.
That's-
I have seemed to forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, that's what I was gonna say, okay. So I've thought a lot about this because sometimes kids don't really know what bullying is. And I think it would be very beneficial at the beginning of the school year to have an assembly about it and have somebody literally go up on stage and make like a PowerPoint about it. And we should have like certain like assemblies throughout the year about bullying because it is an extreme problem around the nation. And my thing is that it, depending on the child, it can really hurt their mental health to the point where it drives them to suicide. And my son is very sensitive. He's a huge lover, and there has been times where he has been bullied, and there's been other times where, you know, sometimes I just think kids are being kids. But the point is that I just feel like there should be more knowledge about it for the kids, not just for the parents. The kids need to know what their actions can cause, and they need to know that sometimes you shouldn't be saying those things to other kids. You shouldn't be excluding that child, especially in such a small school when there's not a lot of kids for them to play with. So I think like there should definitely be repercussions for the bullies of the school. If they physically harm a student, they should be removed or suspended. And I know that it's hard to do that. I know there's a lot of legal things that you guys have to follow, but there also has to be a boundary where these kids can't get away with it. And then if it's something harmless where they're just saying things, I think that the lower class, in my opinion, they should be writing papers about bullying. They should be doing research on bullying. There should be more knowledge about this for the younger kids and the older kids. My son just got, I mean, it wasn't during school, but my son got pushed at the school ground, after school, obviously, but she was like in 8th grade and he ended up coming home with like a scratch on his elbow. And I'm not sure as to what exactly happened, but it's something that just needs to be addressed for sure. And I just feel like everybody should be aware of what it can cause to children, honestly. I come from Iowa, so I've known people that have committed suicide because the bullying was so bad, or it pushed them to go do drugs, or it pushed them to a point where it was just unsavable and they just went off the deep end. And like, I just don't want that to happen here. I want to try to teach the bullies that it's not okay. There's so many things that we can do, like we can paint the bathroom and have like uplifting words in the bathroom, and we can have a bully do that too. Like they can go in and they can paint or just have something for that. And then also, I'm not sure, I don't think I've heard anything about this, but I know last year for sure that they didn't have very much art in school. And it sounds like this year they didn't have a whole lot of time where they could release physical activity. I'm not, if anybody can correct me, they only had PE 1 day a week for, I'm not sure how long, for about an hour. Is that true? Or is that wrong?
Depending on which level.
Fourth or third and fourth grade.
Yeah, they had PE once a week and art once a week.
So like for me, I feel like that's a huge problem because they're sitting in school from 8 to 4 p.m. They don't have creative expression. They don't have that physical activity that they need to get out. Like, how is it possible for all these kids to sit in seats and you expect them not to get frustrated with each other, or you expect them to just learn math for over an hour and then learn this for over an hour, and they just don't get the creative expression that some kids need. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like art is a type of therapy, and because we don't have a counselor, how are they going to express their feelings? I mean, it's sort of like a little circle when I think about it. How are those kids at home going to be able to not bully if they can't express themselves in other ways or release all the physical activity that they need? I don't know. That's just something that I've really been thinking about and that I was a little bit shocked on. But I might just be a me thing. I don't know. It's just, sorry, just kind of went off on a tangent there.
Input's always appreciated.
I like that, if that's something we could add to, in both handbooks maybe.
We certainly can.
Just hopefully to help start that conversation or that consistency with school and parents. Give parents tools to help at home navigate those conversations that are the same ones that are used at the school, so the kids really get it and they understand they're using the same thing.
Yeah.
And that can, I mean, it can help parents too, to find the difference and help coach kids through situations.
Can do.
Thank you.
And add this to both, right?
Do you want to put in some type of anything? I'll approve it with an addition. You wanna wait on that one, or do you want to approve it with the addition of that?
Oh, I thought you were talking.
No.
about work. I'm just waiting for
We're
somebody.
just staring at you.
I'm sorry.
No.
If you want to approve it with this addition,
We can do that.
okay.
Alright, do I have a motion to approve the 7 through 12 handbook with the addition of the
No,
bullying?
that's,
7 through 12. Oh, then
I have a question on 7 through 12.
Okay.
On the athlete of the year, looking at all the check boxes on it, from my understanding, there's nothing, like for track, that they go to all state or all conference, so I almost can feel like that excludes our track athletes' accomplishments out of that. What is your thought about, would it be reasonable to add something like, just a line for item for kids that have gone to state?
With the awards assembly in April, they haven't even gone to district or divisionals or state. If you had to wait for that for the track athletes, then we couldn't do this at the sports awards. Mhm. Yeah, and that was brought up also from our track coaches, you know, well, our kids, we know they're probably gonna make this, but we can't tell you for sure.
What about if they were prior year? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
Then they're still included, but
and
delayed. Or like other acknowledgements or something like that, like they've made top 8 or they broke records or anything like that, that
It would exclude your
could
eighth
include
graders
that
coming in.
sport.
It would exclude your 8th graders coming into high school.
Or they could add like an other
under
acknowledgements
other
or something.
awards, could designate the track. Which
Whatever you think would work.
Mhm.
Since you guys are looking at this chart, are homeschool kids or do they qualify to be athlete of the year? No, you have to be in school. I don't know if there's something that said that, or if that's just something that people know.
I think that, the only reason that they're even allowed to play sports within the school is because of MHSA. But it's like a school athlete of the year.
Oh, okay, so if they're homeschooled, they wouldn't be on this list.
So under other awards, if we put parentheses, track prior year results, or prior year accomplishments.
So at least acknowledge that
Can I
we're
ask-
in track of.
can I ask a real rookie question that, is there a reason that the awards night is prior to the conclusion of spring sports? I mean, I know the end of the year gets so impacted with so many different things.
Because by state track, then the next weekend is usually graduation.
It's that close,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
One year state fell on graduation.
Mhm.
Yay.
So you, but there's no reason that you couldn't move the date of the awards?
No,
So like you could do it like the week before the state, because the kids have already qualified for state. So at least they would get a check mark in that all state, I guess, however you decided to do that.
right. When we looked at the calendar, we were trying to fit awards in, after VPA and,
Right, no, I know how crazy it
Yeah.
gets, so.
but I think if you could track.
But there is flexibility to look at that as a possibility.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, and, it seems like awards, kind of fluctuates, between spring concerts and BPA and, a couple of other spring activities. And especially depending on where Easter is, that throws the
Right.
whole spring calendar kind of in a whack.
Right, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, so, depends on the year.
Yeah, good.
Want to do that one? No, that was. All right. Do I have a motion to approve the 7 through 12 handbook?
I'll make a motion with the addition of the chart.
Chart and
And
Yeah.
athlete of the year.
Yep.
All right, Sarah has the first motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Marlene seconds, do I have a public comment? Board comment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do I have a motion motion to approve the elementary handbook with the addition of the bowling chart.
I'll make a motion to approve the elementary handbook with the addition of the chart.
Where did I, first motion by Sarah, do I have a second? Seconded, Julie seconds. Public comment? Public comment? All in favor, say aye. Motion carried. Two more, guys, I promise.
Okay. Approved dance and dance desk policy revision. I included the old one so you could kind of see where I went from. It became kind of, whoever read it, how it was interpreted. And so when we looked at it, we tried to make it very clear about what students were eligible and if they were homeschooled, what they had to do to be able to come to a dance.
They have to be invited now, correct?
Yes. And at the beginning of the year homecoming, word got out that there was a couple homeschool kids coming and they said, oh, we all get to go. And so poor Miss April ended up with almost a couple fights and it wasn't good. And so we were trying to get clearer expectations of what we expect.
And then this is just due like 5 days before the dance, so then we can give copies of these to whoever's running the dance, so they know who got permission.
Yeah,
Right.
so, it comes into administration for approval. And then after it's approved, then this is copied, and my copy goes to whoever the dance sponsor is, so that they have a running list. And we did it this year for prom, and it was slick, and it's like, yep. There was no problems with prom.
Oh, odd, huh? Does it really say a Lincoln High School student spouse?
That's
How old is that one?
yeah, previous students that were married when they were, before their senior year.
Might be before your time.
I was already saying, I can't think of any, so this is
Unfortunately,
very
it
old.
wasn't before my time.
I
Yeah.
don't remember those days. I was already saying, I'm trying to think of anybody.
We had a couple that were married before their senior year.
No, thank you.
Definitely before my time.
Was it during your time? Really? Not calling you old. You already called yourself old when you walked in here, that wasn't me.
But it wasn't you, right?
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the dance and dance guest policy revision?
I make a motion.
Billy has the first? Julie, do you have a second? Sure. I will second it. All right, public comment?
Where are the changes?
They're taking a student spouse out of there.
Oh,
No, they're putting in the,
You
no
have
fighting, no, you gotta follow the handbook.
And it has to be sent to the other kid's school to be signed and stuff and sent back. And it's due 5 days before the dance.
and our homeschool kids, is this also one of the events that they can participate in?
Yes, and it has a spot on there for homeschool parents to sign off.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the other thing we added was a emergency phone number, so if the sponsor had a problem, they had a phone number that they could call the parent and say, come pick up your kid.
That's cool.
Mhm.
So homeschool kids have to be invited or can, does that like?
Have to be invited.
They invited,
Homeschool kids have to be invited and they have, their parents have to fill out the form.
yes.
Got it.
Mhm.
Any other public comment? Board comment? All here say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Didn't I already do? Or we just approved the classified teachers.
Yeah, we talked about it, but we didn't approve it.
We threw it on, we got it in there.
Mhm.
Okay, I need a motion now to approve the summer school food program since we have staff to do.
I make a motion to approve summer school food program.
All right, Marlene, I did not spell your name wrong. That's the first motion, do I have a second?
I'll say.
Lily seconds. Public comment? Public comment? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Any reason for an executive session? All right, it is 8:36, do I have a motion to end the meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn at 8:36.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I don't
No,
know.
it's her. No, it's me.
Public comment?